we're doing a deep dive into 15 AWS Budgets strategies. Let's find out how to save money. AWS Budgets lets you set spending and usage thresholds across your entire organization, but a single flat budget rarely tells you where the money is actually going or gives you time to act before the bill lands. Used well, AWS Budgets becomes an active governance layer that catches overspend early, routes the right alert to the right person, and can even take automated action before a small overage turns into a five-figure surprise. This guide covers 15 practical strategies for getting the most out of AWS Budgets, spanning organizational hierarchy, forecasting, automation, tagging, commitment tracking, and reporting. 15 AWS Budgets strategies. 1. Implement multi-layered budget hierarchies. 2. Establish forecasted budget thresholds. 3. Create service-specific budget controls. 4. Integrate budget actions with automated responses. 5. Align budgets with cost allocation tags. 6. Configure reserved instance and savings plans coverage budgets. 7. Implement progressive alert stakeholder escalation. 8. Establish separate development and production budget strategies. 9. Leverage budget reports for monthly financial reviews. 10. Create zero-spend budgets for unused regions. 11. Combine budgets with AWS cost anomaly detection. 12. Define time-based budget periods for project lifecycles. 13. Implement budget filters for charge type segmentation. 14. Establish budget slack for elasticity requirements. 15. Create consolidated billing family budget strategies. 1. Implement multi-layered budget hierarchies. Set budgets at the org, member account, and tag level so you get visibility at every altitude at once. Top-down budgets give finance one number to track, while tag-level budgets give engineering leads real detail. Review the hierarchy periodically as accounts and teams change so it never goes stale. 2. Establish forecasted budget thresholds. Why forecast your spend? Configure budgets to alert on AWS's forecasted spend, not just actual spend, at 80, 90, and 100% of the predicted total. Forecast-based alerts warn you before the month closes, giving time to act instead of just reacting. Pair forecasted alerts with actual spend alerts to catch both the trend and any sudden spike. 3. Create service-specific budget controls. Set separate budgets for high-cost services like EC2, RDS, S3, and data transfer instead of one blended total. What happens with one blended total? A single combined budget can hide a runaway service behind a normal-looking number. Service-specific budgets make the real cost driver obvious at a glance. 4. Integrate budget actions with automated responses. Configure AWS Budget Actions so a threshold breach automatically applies an I am policy, stops non-production instances, or invokes a Lambda function. A common pattern caps a dev account and blocks new instance launches until someone reviews the spend. Test actions against a non-critical budget first, since an aggressive action can interrupt real work. 5. Align budgets with cost allocation tags. Structure budgets around mandatory tags like project, environment, team, or cost center so spend maps to who is accountable. Enforce tagging with organizations' tag policies, or the budget will simply miss untagged resources. Well-enforced tagging is what makes every other strategy here actually trustworthy. 6. Configure reserved instance and savings plans coverage budgets. Why track coverage instead of just dollars? A commitment sitting underused is money already spent without the savings to show for it. Track RI and savings plans utilization and coverage percentage, not just raw spend. Set a target coverage, like 80%, and alert when actual coverage drops below it. 7. Implement progressive alert stakeholder escalation. Send early, low severity alerts to the engineering team closest to the spend and escalate higher severity alerts to management. A minor alert going straight to a VP trains people to ignore budget notifications. Reserve executive alerts for thresholds that genuinely warrant attention. 8. Establish separate development and production budget strategies. Give non production environments tighter thresholds and more aggressive automated actions like scheduled shutdowns. Production budgets should favor conservative, review first thresholds instead of automation that could interrupt live traffic. This split lets you be aggressive where it's safe and cautious where it's not. 9. Leverage budget reports for monthly financial reviews. 9. Configure AWS budget reports to automatically deliver a cost summary by email or to S3 on a recurring schedule. More articles like this are on blog.systemsarchitect.io, and this is just like a shorter version of the original. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more, and check the video notes for links. A consistent cadence gives finance and engineering the same numbers at the same time. Archive reports so you can trend spend over quarters, not just compare against last month. 10. Create zero spend budgets for unused regions. Why set a budget at $0? Unauthorized deployments and compromised credentials often show up first as a small charge in a region nobody uses. Because these budgets should almost never fire, any alert here carries real signal. 11. Combine budgets with AWS cost anomaly detection. Run budgets alongside cost anomaly detection so planned thresholds and unexpected spikes are both covered. Cost anomaly detection's rolling window algorithm flags a spike faster than a simple day-over-day comparison. A budget alone can miss a spike that stays under the cap but is still wildly out of pattern. 12. Define time-based budget periods for project life cycles. Set custom budget periods that match a project timeline, fiscal quarter, or full fiscal year instead of defaulting everything to a calendar month. A project budget that resets monthly loses the running total that actually matters to whoever approved the funding. Matching the period to the funding cycle is what keeps tracking meaningful to the people holding the purse strings. 13. Implement budget filters for charge type segmentation. Filter budgets to separately track recurring charges, usage, refunds, credits, and support fees. A blended budget can look stable even while usage costs climb and credits quietly mask the trend. Segmenting by charge type turns one confusing number into a clear diagnosis of where the money is going. 14. Establish budget slack for elasticity requirements. Why build in budget slack? A budget set to exact average spend will alert constantly on any auto-scaling workload. Build a 15 to 20% buffer into budgets so legitimate traffic spikes don't trigger a false alarm. Constant false alerts quickly train teams to ignore every notification, including the real ones. 15. Create consolidated billing family budget strategies. Design budgets that account for the volume discounts and reserved instance sharing that organizations' consolidated billing applies across the account family. A budget built against list price spend overstates the real cost once org-level discounts are factored in. Coordinate with whoever manages the payer account so budget assumptions stay aligned. Taken together, these 15 strategies turn AWS budgets into a layered, automated cost governance system. The through line is visibility paired with action. Layer your budgets by account, service, and tag, forecast ahead of the bill, and let budget actions and cost anomaly detection respond automatically where it's safe. Add disciplined reporting, sensible slack for elastic workloads, and budgets that reflect the real economics of consolidated billing. Start with forecasted thresholds and service-specific budgets, since they deliver the fastest wins with the least setup. Thanks for watching and good luck building. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope you liked it. Find a lot more articles and guides both on systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io. Again, that's systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io.